Hi, I'm Harvey Hubbell. This is Harvey Hubbell's Show and Tell, and I am back with the International Man of Mystery, Educational Man of Mystery, who's going to make it all clear for us, the amazing Kevin Bartlett. Kevin, how the heck are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Harvey. And yeah, thanks for the introduction. I'll clear up a bit of the mystery very quickly. Um, 50 years in as a teacher, 40 of them as a leader, five different countries. Um, and then when I decided to leave school leadership, after a full career, really, I got to work with all the things I'd wanted to do when I was a school leader, which is basically try to create better, comprehensive, connected learning systems, because I see education as operating in fragmented silos, and I don't think that's good for anybody.
Well, you know what I want to do? I want to come. I know you've designed this Echo School, this ecosystem, and I want you to talk about that. I want to come visit you sometime, somehow down there. Can you tell me about this ecosystem that you've created as a school?
Yeah, it's I mean, I work with lots of schools, but I'll focus on one because it's in one of my favorite places, and I'd love to meet you there because I love wildlife. That's the other side of my life. I'm a wildlife photographer. I just came back from the cloud forests of Ecuador where I was photographing Andean bears up in the trees. I've never seen that bear before. There was a mother and two cubs. But I was also visiting a very unusual school. The school is called Mine, not as in gold mine or coal mine, but in mine, yours, ours. It's a school built on the wishes of children. Um, the founders are four brilliant women, four Ecuadorian women, Piki and Vale and Caro and Ferna. I met them first in a well-established school in Quito when I was giving workshops. And then I met them again, and some of the people listening may know the Reggio Emilia schools in northern Italy near Bologna. They're very famous early childhood programs. They've been going since the middle of the last century. I met them there because we were learning about the really remarkable culture of the Reggio Emilia schools. We had a coffee together, and they said, "You know, Kevin, we're leaving the school we're in now. We're going to start our own school, and when we do, we'll contact you, and we'd like you to help us." So I agreed, of course, they're lovely people, and then I kind of forgot about it, as one does. Then I got an email out of the blue saying, "Okay, we're ready." Anyway, fast forward 5 years. A school that was planned to start with 14 children is now 450 kids. It began in a building, a rented building. It's been so successful and it's grown so much that the the group that founded the school bought a piece of land. They have no brick buildings. They have three or four safari tents on wooden platforms. They have 30 geodesic domes. All the learning takes place in domes. They are the most pure exponent of the ecosystem that I believe I've built. And in fact, of course, I've co-constructed it with them. I don't impose anything on anybody. You have to co-create with people. Um, so features of the school, they take a full range of students. They take they take kids other schools kicked out, wouldn't take kids who are completely turned off from school. One or two kids who are not dangerously violent, but really had put up barriers between themselves and the rest of humanity, really. So they take a full range of kids. Their curriculum is organized around the six human commonalities that frame content within the common ground ecosystem: purpose and balance, patterns and principles, stories and signals. Uh, so we framed the curriculum conceptually, and their curriculum is organized around that. The kids learn through major projects embedded in those big sort of learning areas. They don't use traditional grading. The kids keep portfolios of their work. We have a shared definition of learning as conceptual, competency, character. The kids are used to presenting their work as conceptual. I now understand that. Competency, therefore, I am now able to character. And in so doing, I am becoming more. So it's highly structured, but in a very different kind of structure. Kids work across grade levels at times. We just did a beautiful project. I went there for a day. We called it Where is Beauty? We worked across all disciplines. Teachers chose a theme: the beauty in mathematics, the mathematics of beauty, the beauty in science, the science of beauty, the beauty in diversity, the diversity of beauty. We work with quotations like Confucius. There is beauty in everything, but not everyone can see it. Somebody else said, uh, if we see beauty in everything we do, we will only ever do beautiful things. So, characteristics of the culture are regular learning exhibitions that parents are invited to. We send out parent playbooks because I realize, and this would resonate with you, I think, Harvey, when parents come to an event about learning, they enjoy it socially, but they often don't have the language to engage kids in learning conversations. So, in the playbooks we send out in advance are sentence starters, so they can start a conversation about whatever the topic is with not just their own child, but other people's children. They've borrowed an idea from Reggio Emilia, and it's a beautiful idea, and it's at odds with a lot of society these days. Every parent is the parent of every child in this project. So, as you said in another conversation we had, it takes a village. We spend a lot of time with parents. We call the parents, we don't just call them families, we call them learning families. We see our work as helping everyone in that family learn, not just the students. We're using the collective growth system I designed, which replaces observational, supervisory, compliance type teacher evaluation systems with collective goals across a rubric of 4 different cultures: transactional cultures, transitional cultures, transformational cultures, transcendental cultures. In a transactional culture, I give you some information, kiddo. I test you on a Friday, you give the information back to me. I reward you with grades. You take the grades and get into college. It's a transaction where the currency is information. In transformational cultures, the kids are in charge. They're very engaged. They're running projects. They're working socially. They're working together. They're working across disciplines. And instead of me checking off teacher standards, I'm looking with the teacher at what their classroom culture looks like and seeing if together we can nudge it across to more transformational work. It's very like something I learned from a very close friend of mine, Jay McTighe, co-creator of Understanding by Design, people may have heard of, who taught me that the root word from Latin for assessment is assidere, which actually means to sit beside or sit with. Not to look at, but to sit with. So every aspect of this school mine is a free-flowing interpretation of define, design, diversify, deliver, demonstrate, our whole ecosystem. And it's a living, breathing joy to be there. You feel it. You feel it when you go in there. The brilliant Margaret Wheatley said, you walk into a building, you can feel the culture in the first 5 minutes. The kids know the culture. When a new teacher comes, a kid will say to another teacher, yeah, she's not very mine yet. So there's a palpable culture based on love of kids, love of learning, clear, simple systems, no barriers, no boxes, no buildings, learning domes, same learning principles apply to teachers, children, adults, parents. Same fractals. I love seeing patterns, Harvey. These are fractals. The way a kid learns is the way the adult learns, is the way the parent learns. So imagine you're walking through a loosely wooded piece of land with learning domes in it, kids doing brilliant work in those domes, a true sense that something special is happening. But it's very systemic. It's not random. It's not chaotic in any way. In fact, it has to be more structured than the regular cells and bells architecture of prisons, as you say. We work very closely with an architectural team called Education Design International, EDI. We say we design learning systems, they design learning spaces. And Prakash Nair, the brilliant leader of that educational architectural group, talks about schools as prisons. He talks about crime systems as prison systems. So, apart from trying to do justice to it, honestly, do yourself a favor. Go with your wife, spend a few days with those kids, and you'll just see what wide-eyed kids who love learning look like and what teachers look like who have built a different kind of culture.
Well, I'm going to take you up on that, and I'm hoping you and your wife are going to be down there to show us around. So it's a village. It's a school of lifelong learners, and my I'm not sure if you've told me before in any of our past, but how many years has this school been going on for now?
They were just with us on one of the webinars, and Caro told the story. 5 years.
Okay, I was for some reason I thought 5 years. So, do you have graduates that are going out and doing, or what do these people do when they? I guess they're just going to college, or they're going to the workforce. What's happening once you get out of the dome village and then you walk around
It's
and you go into live in a cubicle? I mean, what?
it's interesting because we meet every 2 weeks for 2 hours. We've been doing it for 5 years, and we have no agenda. They bring the agenda with whatever they want to talk about. And on one session, they said, um, "We we're getting kids drifting into the school, and we don't have a high school, Kevin. But these high school kids are coming to our school and saying, 'We want to come to this school, and we don't have a program.'" And I said, "Well," and they said, "But we don't want to turn them away. Sometimes their younger siblings are in the school." I said, "Okay, let's do this. Always start with the end in mind. What kinds of colleges will accept the kids of the type you know will graduate if you take them in?" And we did that. We found colleges that would take kids with a portfolio, far more interested than grades, who would bring and present their work. And last year they had, I just saw a picture of them. I think they had 9 graduates. It's still small at the top end. They had 9 graduates. They either went to colleges in Ecuador or they went to colleges elsewhere. A lot of them took gap years. They're very interested in going out and doing expeditionary work and that kind of thing. But even by traditional boxed education standards, the kids are doing absolutely fine if they have to go to a normal college, where in fact they have to be more independent learners anyway. So what we did was we worked out ways to show work, our demonstrate learning in ways that certain colleges would recognize. There's been a very interesting movement in the States called Mastery Transcript Consortium, and they specialize in portfolio access to colleges. So we had lots of conversations with them. So they take their portfolios and for whatever reason, good reasons, I guess, Harvey, they get into regular colleges.
That's beautiful. If you had a magic wand, I know you said in previous conversations that you want to keep small, but it seems to me this is kind of people respecting each other and seeing the beauty. That's transformational, and these are stars to sail by. If you had a magic wand, uh, is this something you could do? This is how we could save the world with this kind of education?
Um, well, that's kind of the secret code for the people we're working together. We literally say, um, well, I'll see you next week and we'll get back to saving the world. I genuinely believe that, as Deming said, a bad system will beat good people every time. I'll give another example, not of a school, but in Kenya, the Shofco group. I said in a previous conversation, they have 2 girls' schools. I don't know the PC term for it, but the common term would be in the slums of Nairobi. So they have 2 girls' schools based on the idea of leadership. Amazing kids. They would win your heart in 5 minutes. And now we're building an international school with 60% fee paying, 40% full scholarship. But we're now in conversations with the bigger group about taking that into public education in Kenya. So I guess my magic wand would be, and I just spent 2 mornings with the Kenyan the Kenyan Curriculum Institute, talking to the leaders of curriculum design for the nation. So I guess my big magic wand, Harvey, would be we would take these, perhaps deceptively, but I would claim relatively simple systems, and we would give these opportunities to every kid on the planet. It's what Simon Sinek calls the infinite game. He said, in the infinite game, you have a just cause that you will never accomplish, but we'll keep you going infinitely. And people rally to that just cause. The finite game is, yeah, we have a school and we're trying to earn a lot of money and we want to beat the school down the road and be better than them and look better than them and steal their parents and make a quick profit and then turn it over. My entire psyche is programmed the opposite, the infinite game. What Jim Collins talked about in Good to Great. Keep pushing at the flywheel. He said the hedgehog print. Find the simple thing. Get the right people on the bus. Keep pushing at the flywheel. So my magic wand would be, we'd be reaching kids in public school systems with engaging, personalized, relevant education that would open doors for everybody. That's the impossible dream. But 76 and I'm still chasing it.
What makes you smile, Kevin? What makes you smile?
Um, Bad British humor and and actually little kids, especially I have grandchildren now. I find when I see a kid's face light up, and this is dead serious, and I'm not trying to be, cutesy. There is just something so amazing about that epiphany moment in a kid. I just think, yes, she gets it. In your case, she can read. She read the whole sentence. That's a miracle. That is so complicated. But here's this 4-year-old who just read a sentence to me. And I just love that. It's a quick thought. I noticed, because I like playing with words, I noticed a while ago that the aha moment and the ha-ha moment are only one consonant apart. And I noticed that we use the same language for jokes as epiphanies. Oh, I get it. I get the joke. I get the concept. There's always a bit of what we call the good struggle as you're trying to work out the punchline, before the guy or the woman tells you, the stand-up comedian. There's always a bit of struggle as you're struggling with the concept. Oh, that's how it works. And they both give us a dopamine rush. So for me, I'm chasing the happiness that comes from the epiphany moment for the kid that she's shared with me. I love humor as well. The shared One of my favorite bands is Over the Rhine. They have a song called The Laugh of Recognition. Oh yeah, it's like that, isn't it? So I think what makes me smile is epiphanies and humor. They both require connecting seemingly disconnected things to make the unexpected punchline or the connected piece of learning. So I think learning makes me smile, and seeing kids learn makes me smile, and hanging out with good people makes me smile. The Cambridge Research into Happiness says that 4 things make us happy. Getting good at something we care about, that's what you and I are always trying to do. Partnering with good people, that's what we're doing now. Having power over our key life decisions, you and I both have that. And staying physically healthy. Well, you're probably better at that than I am. So what makes me happy in that sense, I love to try and get good at what I care about. I love partnering with good people. I love having this moment in my life when I can decide what to do and who to work with. And I am trying to stay healthy, unsuccessfully. So what makes me smile, what makes me happy is this work we do. When it goes well, there's such a kick about knowing that those kids are getting a better deal than they were yesterday.
All right, Kevin. I love Kevin Bartlett. You're the kind of guy that's going to save the world, and we need you to stay healthy, and we need you to keep doing what you're doing. And thank you for all the good work that you're bringing our planet.
Well, I have no plans to quit. As someone said to Willie Nelson, will you ever retire, Willie? And he said, retire from what? I feel the same way. Retire from what? What we do is who we are. That's my life anyway.
Perfect, brother. I love you, man. Until next time, I'll see you sometime
Yeah.
soon. Much
Yeah, great seeing you, Harvey.
much love. Thank you.